Next two slides, I did mention that I would talk to you about the multi-node, and I talked to you about the blade. Again, I know probably not a big focus for most of you on the phone, but I at least wanted to touch upon it and let you know what we have available. So, when you start talking the multi-node, which we call our Gemini series, AW is the nomenclature we use. We have our AW2000 chassis. Essentially, and then the compute nodes are the, like the 170, 175 series. And they, you get the best kind of performance per office or data space occupied, data center space occupied. Very cost effective, very green in terms of power consumption. For example, what you get is with the nodes inside the AW2000, we have a configuration where you have up to 4 compute nodes in a 2U space. So think about it as having like 4 servers within a 2U. This is where, where space is at a premium within the data center. This is where you're kind of getting into the high performance computing, the HPC space, where the usage scenarios for this. Although it can be started, you can buy these for just general business processing and things like that, run your web, do your e-commerce, things like that. But a heavy use case for this is in, like in scientific communities and educational facilities where there's, very intensive operations and analysis going on, and you need a lot of computation space in a small space. These are where these are best used. Again, it's about a 4 to 6 week lead time before these can be, from the time we get the purchase order till the time they're delivered. And our blade family, those of you familiar with the blade products, this compares very well to the HPC class blade system. This is the environment where this is where you call what we coined the phrase in the industry is data center in a box, right? Basically, you have your servers, you have on the back plane things like networking and fiber channel and everything is kind of encapsulated into one. So this is really moving into that large enterprise and HPC environment where, the performance the amount of space that you have is the highest, right? I mean, it's, but now you're getting into higher pricing here. And again, I'm not going to really focus on this product too much because again, I don't think your customer base is really, this is an area that they're looking at. But AB7000 is the actual blade itself. And then the blade servers, we have the AB2X280 and then the 460 in this space. Okay, we've talked about servers, we've talked about storage, we've drilled down into the individual products, but it's nice that we have the hardware, but what complements the hardware is the software. So we have, I'm going to kind of highlight 3 tools that we have that come with these products. The Acer Smart Setup tool, which is the first thing listed there. It's actually a small screenshot is on the upper right-hand corner. This is basically the tool to help you set up the server. So as you're building out the server, loading the OS, configuring it, it's a configuration tool that kind of takes you step by step through the process. This comes with the server, and again, it's designed to automate the installation of that server, which can sometimes be cumbersome depending on the configuration. The Acer Smart Console, which the picture of that, a representative picture of that is the one in the middle on the right-hand side. This is kind of what we call the out-of-band or sideband remote control of the server. It's kind of the lights-out management. So you have that BMC port on your system, right? And, this allows you to do remotely the setup on the system, or management of the system. So you have like a remote keyboard, KVM, the remote media, so like if you need to do a CD or DVD for operating system load, you can do that. So again, this is kind of, those of you familiar with the ProLine equivalent is like the ILO port, Insight Lights Out management. This is what this tool is designed to do. And then the Acer Smart Server Manager, bottom right-hand corner. It's kind of our basically our management tool for the systems, right? I mean, you've got the smart setup to help you with the installation. You've got the smart console, that's kind of the out-of-band, out-of-band sideband management, and then you've got the smart server manager, which is kind of the IPMI SNMP-based management console. This allows you, again, this is more of a larger type of environment, but just to give you the capabilities, you can monitor up to 250 servers. You can set up all kinds of alerts, like certain the server reaches a certain temperature, or there's a bad hard drive, things like that. These notifications can be sent out, and you can set it up to email you and things like that. So you can kind of manage these systems with this tool, right? So this is again, this kind of the equivalent to the HP is the Insight Manager. Those of you familiar with that product, and you do actually have an option to integrate with the Microsoft System Center software as well. So what's the key takeaway on this slide? Really, it's just to say that in addition to the hardware, we do have management tools available, not only to help you do the installation, but also manage the products both remotely and as a group of servers within your data center. What I'm not showing here are some of the optional software packages we have. We have access, for example, on the storage side to the Hitachi software, so you have those capabilities out there as well. And just again, I wanted to kind of touch on this because we are really focused today on the server portfolio, and these are the tools that are designed to help you with that. Okay, here's a slide here that kind of illustrates one of the benefits. I mentioned the fact that we do have a complete suite of products. I've taken you through all those now. I showed you the manageability tools and the software tools that we have available. But and if you go out and do a spec-by-spec compare between HP and us, or Dell and us, you'll see that the technical specifications compare very favorably. I mean, let's face it, the server market, for the most part, there is some innovation out there, but it's a very commoditized market. The hardware is the hardware is the hardware, right? So one of the areas where you can differentiate is in the software. But one of the other areas where we like to differentiate is in the pricing. And I'm not talking about just strictly, base server to base server pricing. Where we kind of excel is in the option pricing. So take you through an example here, comparing the ProLiant DL360 G7 from HP, and compare that to the Acer AR360. The configuration is 2-processor, 12 gigs of memory, RPS SAS RAID on both of those, and you can see the individual SKUs that we used. This slide has not been updated in a couple of months. So I don't, I'm not. This is just a representative of the MSRP that we got off of the HP SMB store a couple of months ago, and then we compared it to our MSRP that we have listed on our products. In this case, the 360 as a base unit with a base configuration, we are priced very favorably relative to the HP, $65.39 for the HP product, and almost $1,000 less for the equivalent Acer product. But this is where I want to take this conversation. Is look down at the bottom half of this, where now we're going to add, and just something real simple. Let's add 2 300 gig SAS hard drives, 2.5-inch 10K. $409 is the list price for each of the HP hard drives. Our price is $299. So one of the questions you might be asking is, well, wait a second. HP is, the biggest in the market. How come your pricing is lower than them? They certainly probably have more volume than you do and get more volume discounts. All of that is true. Where we benefit is in our pricing is that we don't add what we call the luxury tax. HP, as you may or may not know, their hard drive cages are proprietary, so you can't go out and swap them with industry standard options. And that's one of the areas where we decided as a company when we came to market, let's make sure that we provide industry standard options, but let's provide industry standard pricing on those options as well. So we don't have the proprietary drive cage. We don't have the proprietary hard drives. Now that puts us at a little bit of risk that people can go out in the open market and buy options, but we don't specifically prohibit that. I mean, it can void the warranty depending on what's purchased out there. But that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do it too. Is like, hey, if we offer competitive pricing, not only relative to the open market buying of options, but also to our competition, we'll fare better in the end. So bottom line is comparable quality and features with better pricing translates into more margin potential throughout our value chain. All right, I'm going to just spend a couple of minutes wrapping up here, so we have at least a couple minutes for questions because I know we're coming up against the hour here. Here's our Acer server option kit. We have everything that you see there on the bottom, from adapters to fiber channel to LAN to memory to RAID cards, all the standard stuff. As I mentioned, we price it to market. We don't add a premium to it. And there's commonality across the platform, so the hard drives that work in one system work in the other. And the important thing here is they do take on the system matching warranty of the server. So if the server warranty is 3 years, once that option goes inside the server, it takes on the warranty terms of that server. So it keeps things real simple. Okay, key takeaways. I've taken you through the entire presentation. I didn't really get to drill down too much on the individual models. I try to show you a representative of the tower and rack, which is your product. Primary products that your customers will be looking at, but key takeaways from today really are, we have a complete line of servers, storage, software, and options to meet the needs of your customers. Bass, of course, has been in business over 21 years, and they carry a complete line of Acer products from the consumer all the way to the commercial products like the servers and storage. And our servers and storage products are available exclusively through the channel to great partners like Bass. So we are 100% focused on that channel. There's no direct competition with a manufacturer like you see with some of our other competition. And you guys on the phone are our customer, and we're here for you. And it sounds like a very corny statement, and it probably is, but in reality is everybody that's on the team, we came from outside of Acer, and we understand some of the frustrations. So that's why we try to make ourselves available as product managers to our channel, to our distributors. And, again, what I really want to emphasize here is that with a strong relationship with a company we have with Bass, we hope that will be beneficial to you guys. And I appreciate your time today. Thanks for listening. I'm going to turn it back over to Scott and Jen to see if we have any time for questions.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Brett. We appreciate that, taking on your busy schedule. Right now, if you guys have any questions in relationship to this webinar, feel free to type those in. While that's going on, Brett, I have some questions as I'm looking at this. The AT350, does that have an option for a rack conversion?
Yes, it does. Primarily it is a tower, but you do have the option to, if you kind of look at it and turn it on its side, that's its standard rack configuration. So yes, you do have the option to convert that over into a rack if needed. So great question, Scott.
All right. And then as we went over the software packages, are those software, the higher level softwares, on what units do those start? Is that starting at the AT110? Or do you have to move into the AT350, AR160 to get those additional features?
Typically, it's model specific. I don't have the entire list in front of me, but primarily you're going to see these products available on the 300 series. So, for example, the 110, especially the towers, right? I mean, you're like the 100 series, right? You're not going to see all these options available. Now, the smart setup is available on all of them, but like when you move into the smart console and server web manager and the ports, it's model specific. So yeah, I can certainly get you that list and be happy if you want to mail it out to the people on the webinar list that are interested. I can get you a comprehensive list. Maybe what we can do is get a slide out that kind of shows the different software packages, and then a little tick box on what systems they come with standard.
Fantastic. And one of the things that we see that as another key takeaway on this is, in the past, because Acer didn't have servers, we could fulfill the front of the house, but now as Acer has stepped up to fill this gap to be able to now fulfill the back of the house.